What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel. Last time, we had a little bit of a shorter video. We got some more lore as to how Alisa, has kind of been feeling, what kind of went on with her and her family. And now, we ended off the first night, the second night of our field study, but the first night of us being in Nord. And there was an attack uh, on the Calvard base near Nord, as well as the Watchtower that kind of looks over there. And it looks like our boy Zatz may have been killed. But we're going to have to see what happens when we wake up the next morning. Or whatever we're going to see next. So let's get started. Yep, here we go. Monday, field study day 3. I assume the final day we're here? Same day, 6:30. So I guess they're waking up a little later today. Oh, maybe not. That was a great meal. Safe to assume the settlement hasn't been alerted as to what happened. I don't think I could eat another bite. After how much we ate yesterday, I'm surprised we were still able to pack away this much food. Well, you're all growing boys and girls, so eat up. Riding takes a lot of energy, so I'd say eating this much is normal after a day out in the plains. Would anyone like any more? I should probably refrain. If there's any chicken left, we can wrap it in bamboo and take it with us. Who knows, we might need something to gnaw on while we're out there today. Okay. Let me help too. I'll pour the leftover tea into some containers for you. Thanks. You really are too kind. You're our guest. What kind of host would we be if we didn't treat you as such? Anyway, here's the grand list of the tasks you'll be attending to today. There's none. It's just one optional one. It's just a monster. That's why he said grand list. Alright. I figured it couldn't hurt to give you fewer than yesterday. Feel free to take advantage of that extra time to do whatever strikes your fancy. Maybe go off the beaten path a bit. Understood. Thank you again for everything. Hey, do you want to spend some more time with your grandfather today, Alisa? It sounds like you weren't able to spend much time with him yesterday. Gwyn stayed in the Elder's home yesterday, right? I imagine he ought to be up and about soon. We'd have no objections to completing this morning's task without you if you wish to spend more time with him. But... Lacan, are you there? Elder? Yes, I'm here. I guess they didn't want to give us any mandatory jobs because of what we're probably going to deal with right here. Oh, good morning. Grandfather? Norton? Morning, everyone. Sorry to intrude. Judging by the looks on your faces, it seems not all is well. I'm afraid you're right. We received word from Center Gate just a short while ago. They said that the Imperial Army's Watchtower has been attacked. What? It sounds like it all happened in the middle of the night. And that's not the last of it either. The Republican Army's base has been attacked too. This isn't going to be pretty. So are they just gonna... This is gonna incite a war between them that assume that both of them attacked each other? I mean, we obviously know it had to have been some kind of third party. Third Armored Division military airships. Oh boy, Calvard and Arabonia seems like they're gonna be having a little chat. Those airships look like the ones from Liberal. I guess they're not as advanced as the Erebonian ones right now. Okay. Airborne Armored Division being sent out first as always, I see. I suppose it's only a matter of time before they give the order to the armored regiments too. Lieutenant General, we confirm the deaths of 2 of the guards. Oh no, Zats, we just gave him the food yesterday. A further 3 have sustained serious injuries, but we've been able to stabilize their condition. I see. Have the medics see to them the second they arrive. Sir. Contact Zender Gate. Prepare the 3rd Armored Division for deployment. I want all armored vehicles ready to move before I return. 9:30, 3 hours later. Hey, you sure you don't need us to help? I appreciate your willingness, but we'll be fine. We're used to the procedures for moving the settlement in case of an emergency. The same goes for you guys. I assume you'll be heading to Zender Gate to learn more about the current situation from Lieutenant General Vander. Not as a citizen of Nord, but as a student of Thor's military academy. I will. Will you be staying here, Grandfather? I will. I can use the truck after all. And since I was here anyway, I might as well do what I can to get the settlement ready to move. Alright, please take care of yourself. I'm sorry, Elder Lacan. I feel terrible that I can't help when you need it most. You have your own job to do. There's no need to worry about us. May the blessing of the winds and the goddess be with you all. Take care. We will. We must make for Zender Gate at once. Indeed, we need to find out as much as we can about what happened. Yep, we can't go back to the north. We can only go to the south. So yeah, I think the rest of the field study is literally just going to be about whatever is happening right now. Let's go here. Sure. That'll do for now. Let's give us a little defense buff. Alright, let's head south. Very interesting that, Mr. News Reporter guy actually has a picture. Like, he actually has drawn artwork. I'm really sorry to put you guys up to this. You've already helped me out more than enough yesterday. No problem, don't sweat it. This must be the kind of breaking news every press photographer dreams of being on the scene for. Still, it bothers me. How is it possible that both the Imperial and Republican bases were attacked at the same time? Do you think one attacked first and the other swiftly retaliated? No time to think about it right now. We need to hurry. We need to get to Zender Gate as fast as we can. Right. Whoa, don't ride too roughly. Alright, where's this monster we have to take out? I don't see it at all. Yeah, I don't see a circle on the map anywhere. Oh, it's in the north part. Okay, so I guess at some point during the story we'll be able to go back there. At least it's not like Sky and Zero where we have to protect the guy who's with us. Oh, Emma got a new craft. And we will definitely have to try out Alice's S-craft at some point. Alright, yeah, so for right now, we'll just head for Zendergate.
帝国軍が運用している軍用飛行艇だわ。
Where is it?
思った以上にきな臭くなっているな。とにかく急ぐぞ。
帝国軍の動力装甲車。
このままじゃ。
10 o'clock, so it took us 30 minutes to get here. Looks like the Imperial Army's 3rd Armored Division, and it appears they're preparing for deployment. Thanks, everyone. Let me go see if I can get permission to start taking photographs. I wonder where Lieutenant General Vander could be. We need to find him so he can tell us what's going on here. I suspected you might show up. There he is. Lieutenant General, did you have some business to attend to elsewhere, sir? I thought I'd conduct another sweep of the area as a precaution. But never mind that, you came at the perfect time. A freight train bound for Rower departs 30 minutes from now. I want all of you on board that train. Finish up your field study as quickly as you can and return to the academy. What? What? But sir... While things ultimately depend on the actions of the Republican Army, the bottom line is we may be mere hours from an armed conflict with the Calvin Republic. I've already informed everyone in the settlement. Did they not relay the message to you? Be that as it may, we can't just turn tail and pretend none of this is happening. Lieutenant General, have you established which side attack first? Gaius, that's the central question here. It's still under investigation. You have my assurance that the Imperial Army did not attack. We did not make the first move, nor have we retaliated. However, our army's watchtower was destroyed and several guards lost their lives. As the officer in charge of Zendergate, I have a duty to act. So there really were fatalities. Let's presume for the sake of the argument that the damage sustained by the Republic Army's base was in fact deliberate sabotage by their own forces. How bad was the damage? Several of their facilities suffered major structural damage. Their losses appear to be at minimum equal to ours. Honestly, I'd estimate them to be far greater. But if they suffered even more damage than we did, that doesn't make any sense. I'm afraid we've long passed the point where leisurely discussing our possibilities was an option. I will do all I can to avoid full-scale war, but we're prepared for the possibility of armed conflict. And I suspect they are as well. But that just seems so wrong. If that's your opinion, Lieutenant General, will you at least allow me the chance to investigate what happened on my own? Gaius? Investigate on your own? I'm sure you're aware I know the Highlands like the back of my hand. And when someone attempts to threaten the peace of my homeland, I won't rest until I've unearthed the truth behind what's happening. You're serious. We'll do everything we can to help you. I think this falls within the scope of our field study, too. No, wait. This is the people of Nord's problem. There's no reason for you all to stay here and risk getting caught in the crossfire. A classmate and friend is staying behind. Isn't that reason enough? I am a son of the House of Alberea. I would never disgrace the honor of my family name by fleeing in the face of danger. Besides, it seems like your people have done a lot for my grandfather. Gaius, do you remember what you said to us back at the Heimdallr station? The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. Yeah, you got him right there. It appears you've lost this one, Gaius. Lieutenant General, It is currently 10:05. I will permit you until 12:30 to conduct your investigation. I will do everything in my power to postpone any potential conflict until at least then. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We haven't a moment to waste. We should begin by visiting the Watchtower that was attacked. That sounds like a good place to start. Oh, good. They're going to take us there. Thank you. Really, I appreciate it more than you know. It's no big deal, honestly. I agree with Alisa. We're classmates after all, and more than that, we're friends. Well, this is clearly of great importance to you. I know you want to protect your people, but that's not the only reason you're doing this, is it? You got me. It ties back to why I accepted the Lieutenant General's recommendation and entered the Academy too. I'm sure each of you feels the same about your own homes, but I love this land with all my heart. The wind racing across the highlands, the vast mountain peaks, the clear blue of the sky, the breathtaking beauty of the rising sun, the melancholy of the sunset, the twinkling of the stars in the twilight. I love everything about this land of Nord. It's part of who I am. Wow, I guess it hasn't sunk in just how much Nord means to you. I'm certainly attached to Rower, but I can't think of anyone else who would state their love for their homeland so poetically. If you love it so much, why did you leave it behind? If you truly love Nord, if Nord is such a part of you, what is it that drove you to enroll in a military academy in a foreign land so far away? I'm not surprised you'd find it strange. To be honest, I'm still not totally sure what compelled me to do it. But back when I was a kid, the Republican Army built a base on the Eastern Plains, and the Imperial Army responded in kind with their Watchtower. It's made me more uneasy with each passing year. I like that art. Years ago, a traveling priest from the Septian Church taught me all about the history of the continent. Is he just a traveling priest? We've heard those words before with Kevin. Well, guess we'll find out. One thing that stood out to me was just how many lives have been lost during the conflicts between the major powers. Another major theme was just how profound of an impact the Orbital Revolution had on people's lives. Even the concepts of time and distance have changed so much. In effect, the Orbital Revolution shrunk the world. It made me realize the sad truth, one that scares me even now, that there was no guarantee my homeland could stay at peace forever. That one day it might be drawn into outsiders' conflicts and be occupied and redistricted into oblivion. I mean, it's not wrong. I can't believe you were thinking about such weighty things even as a kid. So then, you joined the Academy in order to learn more about the outside world that posed a threat to your homeland. Yeah, something along those lines. When I realized how afraid I was, I knew I couldn't close my eyes. I wanted to do something, anything, to protect this land. As luck would have it, I met the Lieutenant General, and he's the one who told me about Thor's military academy. One thing led to another, and he offered me a recommendation, and before I knew it, I took him up on his offer. So there I was, green as grass. That's a word, or a phrase. Heading to study abroad despite having no clue what life in the Empire was like. Thinking back on how it all came together, what you said is probably what I was thinking back then, honestly. I've yet to hear a student offer a more gallivanting reason than yours for enrolling at the Academy. Haha, I have to agree. I don't know many people who love their home so much they'd leave it behind just to find a way to protect it. It's not a sentiment I can imagine many Erebonians feeling, that's for sure. But I think I finally understand. Alisa? Oh, just an idle thought. But having heard Gaius pour his heart out on us, there's no way we can just walk away from this. Not after the people of Nord gave us such a warm welcome and treated us like family. Indeed, I couldn't have asked for more. Agreed, we'll get to the bottom of what's going on here and stop war from breaking out. Nord may not be our home, but it's still an important neighbor. I'll do what I can to aid you. Thanks, all of you, really. Thank you. Alright, we're at the Watchtower. Let's investigate what... Man, they're gonna be so heartbroken when they learn Zatz was one of the... Like, they said 2 guards, so I assume the 2 that were at the top. If they really learn about Zatz, it's gonna be hard to hear. You can see shell damage everywhere. It's even worse than I'd feared. They confirmed casualties too. I didn't think I'd ever have to see anything like this. As students of a military academy, things like this are always within the realm of possibility. Although I hardly expected my first sight of such devastation to be the spark that ignites war with Calvard. This may be too much for students like us to handle. No, we've all been in situations that looked impossible before, haven't we? And every time we've come through, we just need to stay calm and think, and I'm sure we can do something here too. You're right. True, we should focus on doing what we can. Whatever we decide to do, we need to get a better grasp of the situation. Yeah, let's find out who's in charge and get their permission to start an investigation. Yeah, we only have like an hour and a half. I see. If Lieutenant General Vander has given you his permission, I see no reason to refuse. Thank you. However, I want to make it clear that armed conflict with Calvard could begin at any moment. We've got our hands full staying on guard for any potential threat from the east. I'll permit you to speak with soldiers here, but don't get in the way of them doing their duties. Understood. Okay, let's get started. We should start by speaking with the soldiers and assessing the damage. That seems wise. When we've gathered all the information we need, we can start piecing it together. Right, let's go. Yep, we got to investigate. So just the ones on the roof. Oh no, we're still on the ground, okay. Oh no, Zatz is right here. Oh, but Rowan, the one that was with him, died. Rowan, why'd you have to go and die on me? Zatz. He seems pretty down. Can't say I don't understand how he feels, though. It was right when the shifts changed. Rowan came out to relieve me, and I was chattering away with him like always. And that's when the first shell hit us. Must have been around 3 in the morning. So it started around 3 then. Right in the middle of the night. I was on lookout. I should have noticed something was off, but the explosion completely took me by surprise. I was so sure nothing would ever happen out here that when something actually did, I was totally useless. If I just paid a bit more attention, if I'd been a better soldier, Rowan might still be with us now. It's not your fault. None of us could have predicted something like this would happen. You can hardly blame yourself for a lack of vigilance after being stationed in a peaceful area like this for so long. They attacked in the dead of night knowing your guard would be down. I wonder if it really was the Republican Army's doing after all. We need more information before we can say for sure. No, I don't think it was them. There was something else that happened before we came under attack. We heard an explosion coming from the Republic Army's base. When we looked, we saw smoke pouring from it. What? We knew that both bases were attacked, but did both attacks really happen around the same time? If that's so, it's unlikely that either army was responsible. Who is responsible then? We should keep this in mind as we piece things together. I mean, we saw it ourselves. Yeah, it definitely wasn't one army or the other. Unless, like, there's a mole. Or not even a mole, unless there's just a traitor in either army. Oh, boy. How's the situation with the Republican Army? Looks like they're really hustling over there. We've confirmed a number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area. We've heard their base got hit pretty badly too. And from over here, it sure looks that way. The Lieutenant General said that the Republic Army base got hit with at least as hard as the Watchtower, if not harder. But we believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and so that sure as hell looks like one. Do you really think it's true? That much damage seems awfully excessive. They probably just got overzealous with the explosives. It doesn't make much difference either way. If they're brazen enough to attack us, we'll blow them back across the border. The soldiers here all seem to have their doubts. But without any hard evidence, we're not going to be able to convince them of anything. We should reconsider the possibility that this was a deliberate act of sabotage by Calvard's forces. The This is awful. It really is. It looks like they got hit hard. And to think there were casualties. You know the Imperial Army isn't going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. They have their image to uphold, after all. Hey, looks like most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attack could have done it from the Highlands? It seems very likely. But where in the plains could they launch an attack like that from? Well, the Highlands are incredibly vast. We'd need some kind of clue to know where to start looking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find something here that'll point us in the right direction. Well, if they got hit from right here, wouldn't that mean, like, this way? Something like that? Because obviously you're not going to hit from this side if you're, like, all the way over there. Or even over there. Huh, is this? What's up, Alisa? Is there something unusual about that scrap of metal? I knew it. This is a mortar shell manufactured by the Reinford Company. Are you sure? Yeah, I've seen them before on the assembly line. There are only a couple models capable of firing this kind of shell. That would suggest that the mortar used to fire it was also made by the Reinford Company. But if we assume that's true, it seems much less likely that the Republic was responsible. True, why would the Republican Army use a weapon made in the Empire? I mean, obviously there's black market stuff, as we've seen, but it doesn't make much sense to me. Even if we account for deception, it seems unlikely that Calvert would go this far to conceal their involvement. Though, considering the stakes, we can't exactly entirely rule out the possibility. Still, this might prove to be an important clue to solving this mystery. You know, I'm really just still not used to all this reading, because obviously with the 3 Sky games and then 0, most of the main story is fully voiced, so it is a bit throwing me for a loop, all the reading we have to do here. I think that's all the info we can gather here. I think so too. Now we need to analyze what we've learned. First, we should establish a good picture of what was happening when the attack occurred. That seems like the best place to start. So first of all, what time did the actual attack on the Watchtower happen? 3 a.m. It was 3 a.m. Yes, that's what the guard told us. But that wasn't all that was going on then. That's right, the Republican Army's base also came under attack. And according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage than what happened here. I think we can safely discount the possibility that the Republic Army bombed their own forces then. But there's no evidence that the Imperial Army launched an attack either. All we know is that both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. However, as Alisa said, we have no evidence to suggest that either side was responsible. If we accept that as fact, the most likely scenario is that the responsibility lies with another party entirely. So you think a third party is working behind the scenes to provoke both countries into starting a war? Tensions between the Empire and the Republic are always high. But compared to other areas of similar political value, the Nord Highlands have always been peaceful. I can conceive of no reason either country would have decided to break that peace last night. I agree. If anything, it seems like the negatives would outweigh the positives for both parties. If this were Crossbell, it might be a different story, but here... Now that you mention it, we found something odd about the attack on the Watchtower, didn't we? Something that seems to point to a third party's involvement. Something else odd about the attack on the Watchtower. I'll bet she's referring to this. The weapon that was used, right? Yeah. You're talking about the mortars used for the attack, right? Exactly. It looks like the orbital mortars they used were an old Reinford model. And I, for one, find it pretty unlikely that the Republican Army is packing Erebonian-made weapons. Indeed, they have little reason to be, considering the Republic has its own major orbital technology manufacturer. I think it's Verne Company. Yep, there we go. The Verne Company, as I recall. Yeah, the Verne Company is responsible for manufacturing most of the arms used by the Republican Army. Then there's the fact that the mortar used here is old. The Imperial Army hasn't used this model for years. I've heard the military surplus sometimes makes its way back into the black market, and black market, like I mentioned, it ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Knowing that, it seems unlikely that either army chose to use it to cover their tracks. Quite. However, there is a far more pressing question we need to answer. What do you mean? I know where you're going. You need to know where the attack was launched from in the first place. That's going to be difficult to work out. But without that vital detail, all our speculation thus far is for naught. If we intend to avert a war, we need more than speculation. We need conclusive evidence. Agreed. But the Highlands are too vast to just strike out searching blindly. Especially with the Lieutenant General's deadline rapidly approaching. Actually, we might not have to start our search blind. If Alisa and Gaius will lend me a hand, I may be able to help. Huh? What do you have in mind? If I can factor the location of the damage together with the speed and trajectory of the mortar shells, and take into the account the Highlands winds, I may be able to estimate the area from where the mortar was fired, or potentially anyway. Are you serious? It sounds easier said than done. I'll do what I can. Are you familiar with the specifics of the shell that was used? I think so. It's an old model, but I should be able to give you some rough data. Then that should be plenty. Anyway, let's have another look at those damage areas and start our calculations. Please come with me, everyone. Right. Alright, I think I've calculated a rough location. I believe the mortar was fired from a location to the south of here. Using the map as a reference point, it means that it was likely launched from somewhere in this area. And according to my calculations, the launch site shouldn't be too far from here. Wow, I can't believe you managed to work that out. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I'll enjoy watching Regnitz really sweat it out, trying to best you on the next midterm. Just a little applied physics. I couldn't have done it without Alisa and Gaius' help. It looks like we got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands. Sure seems like it. Let's take off and start looking. Right. Reen and the others reported their findings to the soldier in charge and asked him to relay the intel to Zendergate. Afterward, they set out on horseback to begin their search. Alright, let's start looking for where the mortar was actually fired from. If what Emma calculated is correct, it should have been fired from a point south of the Watchtower. And most likely from a point that's easy to overlook, so that it's not found out. Let's see if we can find anywhere that fits that description. We'll likely need to rely on the map to help us. I wonder if the culprit could still be there. Regardless, we should see what we can find. Up, right down there. That is south. It's almost time to wrap things up for the video again already. Even though we haven't really done much other than learn about the attack. I think we'll at least do whatever's going to happen over here. A ladder. Hey, over there. You found something? What's a rope ladder doing all the way up there? I can hardly believe its presence is to be mere chance. Did the people of Nord use this area for anything? Not that I've ever known of. This just got that much more suspicious then. Perhaps the mortar was fired from somewhere up here? It definitely seems worth a look. I'm just not sure how we're going to get up there. We can't reach that rope ladder from down here. I see no way to climb up the cliff face either. If you have any suggestions, now would be a fine time. I believe I have an idea. Wonder if we were able to make use of Ali's orbital bow. My bow? How? Well, if you were able to hit that cord that's tying the rope ladder, perhaps it would unroll itself, allowing us to climb up. I'm glad you think I'm that good of a shot, but I don't really see that working. Haha, it was just a thought. Well, it's not like we have any better ideas. Why not give it a try? True enough, and time is one resource we don't have much of right now. Searching for some manner of tool to pull it down would cost us precious time as well. I can't really argue with that. Alright, here goes nothing. Emma did some kind of magic thing again, like she's done before. Wait, what? It actually worked? Haha, you seem to have the makings of a great hunter. Seems this is a day for lucky shots. We'll have to start calling her Quick Draw Alisa. Was I just imagining things, or did the arrow glow for a second? Well, now that we can reach the ladder, why don't we go have a look at the top of the cliff? Yeah, let's see what's up there. Obviously, Emma's doing something. Anything? There's obviously something up here. Aha! There. Exactly the smoking gun we were looking for, too. Quite literally. Well, old Orbital mortars, all Reinford models too. And it looks like they've been used recently. Bingo. So this is where they were hiding them. I can see why they chose this place. Who would think to look here? They must have fled the area after firing them last night, leaving the launchers where they were. But unfortunately, these alone do not furnish enough evidence to avert a war. You're right. What the heck was that? Alisa looks like she just like dropped back into the frame. That was odd. You're right, unfortunately. If we just had a bit more evidence. Still, this is a solid step forward for our investigation. Perhaps we should return to Zender Gate and let the Lieutenant General know? Sounds like a good idea. Alright, let's go report. I've made sure they can't be fired again, so don't worry about that. Right, let's go then. Oh, looks like some cutscene's gonna happen when we jump down here. There. Isn't that... It's that flying object we saw fleeing the Aurochs fort near Barrierhard. There's no mistaking something that's strange. It looks like it's carrying something. It can't be a coincidence that they'd show up now of all times. They're heading northwest. We're going after them. Right. Saddle up. Chase and find the floating silver object before time runs out.
Hiya! このまま行かせるものか。まあ、何としても追いつこう。
How are we gonna overtake them? There's no way.
Hayai. ともかく見失うな。
Yep, we just can't lose sight. Crap.
石中軍のあたりに降りたんでしょうか。絶対に追いつくわよ。
So at the top of there? We have a minute to get up there. Was this the only way up here? Yeah. I definitely saw them land around here. I can sense someone up ahead. Really? Yeah, I'm betting it's that thing we're chasing. Ah, so our quarry is finally within reach. I think it was carrying a young girl. Well, we'll find out what we're dealing with soon enough. There they are. She really does look like a child. But what is that silver construct with her? Save the speculation for later. We need to capture them before they escape.
これで大体の状況はつかめたかな。どうしよっかな。制圧するだけなら簡単だけど、逃がしちゃう可能性もあるし。かといって皆殺しにするのもさすがにかわいそうだしな。
She talking about us?
動くな。
あ、士官学院の人たち。
俺たちのことを。
どうして知ってるの？
貴様。一体何者
Well,
だ。
we know that she knows about Lecter and Claire.
その大きなものは一体。
君は一体何者だ。軍の監視塔と共和国軍の基地が攻撃されたことに
無用な疑いはかけたくない。だがこの地にいる理由と名前くらいは教えてもらえないか。
なんか露骨に疑われちゃったみたいだし、ちょっと段取りが狂ったかな。そっか、その手があったか。君たちが手伝ってくれれば万事解決、オールオッケーだよね。
え？
何を？でもどれだけできるかちょっとだけ試させてね。
Meaning what?
やる気か。
Milliam Orion.
僕はミリアムオライオンだよ。こっちはガーちゃん。正式名称はアガートラム。それじゃよろしくね。それじゃ始めよっか。
マイル。
Alright, Milliam.
やっちゃ
逃さん。
え。私の番ね。
18,000 HP isn't too crazy. Rosetta Arrow. 100% chance to mute.
行くわよ。
俺の番だ。
そこだ。行くぞ。そこだ。
俺の
Ow.
番だ。そこだ。
任せてちょうだい。行きます。
That'll help. I miss having Crescent Shell. Oh, defense up? Okay.
月よ、最悪を退け。プレゼントせよ。
Oh, but it doesn't affect herself, which is the downside.
さあ、一気に行くぞ。
お任せください。やっちゃえ。すみません。
俺 俺の番だ。カゼン、俺に力を貸してくれ。
Get in there, Gaius. Oh, that was actually a lot better than I was expecting. Uh,
息吹は
ありがとう。炎、我が剣に集え。
Alice is probably gonna go down here. Okay, that's fine. Never mind. Bye, Alisa.
任せてちょうだい。
Oh! Oh, right. Didn't she have that item on her? Alright, well, let's show it off, I guess.
これが私の切り札ね。
I probably could have used an art first.
ロゼッ
任せてくれ。
行きます。息吹は
ありがとう。マイル。そこだ。今だ。行くぞ、アリサ。
End it, Wonder Couple. Or not.
やっちゃえ。甘く見
Well,
ないで。
there goes Emma.
すみません、皆さん。私の番ね。アクス、駆動。
俺の番だな。
No more playing. It's over. Sorry, Emma.
油断したかな。
よし、これで大丈夫だ。
No XP for Emma.
まだまだこれからだ。
君たち結構すごいな。うんうん、これなら大丈夫そうかな。
小娘、いい加減にしてもらおうか。
2つの軍事施設への攻撃、やっぱりあなたの仕業なの？だから違うってば。まあもうなんて説明すれば分かってくれるんだろう。
How about tell us something? You haven't told us anything.
だったら話せる範囲まででも構わない。君が知っている情報を教えてくれ。
俺たちの力が必要と言ったな。この地の平穏を取り戻せるならいくらでも力を貸そう。だからどうか話してほしい。
リー、ガイウス。
甘いとは思うが。
ミリアムさんと言いましたか。とにかく時間がありません。私たちにどんなことを手伝ってほしいんでしょうか。手伝ってほしいのは監視塔と共和国軍の基地を砲撃した連中、数名くらいの武装集団の拘束だよ。
You should have started with that.
なんですって？あの迫撃砲を見たでしょ？同じものが共和国軍の基地から少し離れた場所に隠してあったんだ。ま、同じ連中が仕掛けたんだろうね。
Okay.
ちょっと待て。
その武装集団というのは一体どういう？詳しくは知らないけど、傭兵崩れっぽいから高額なミラで雇われただけなんじゃないかな。ま、これからそのあたりを確かめに行こうと思ったんだけど。
待ってくれ。
そいつらがどこにいるのか君。
うん、高原の北の方だよ。
Oh.
どう？手伝ってくれるなら案内してあげるんだけど。
Not like we have much of a choice.
とりあえず協力させてもらう。トールス士官学院7組、リーン・シュバルツァーだ。
ガイウス・ウォーゼル。
アリサン・ラインフォルトよ。一応よろしくね。エマ・ミルスティンです。よろしく、ミリアムちゃん。
ユーシス・アルバレアだ。
オーロックス砦の侵入についてもいろいろと話してもらいたいものだが。
あはは、僕たちに気づいてたんだ。
Well, duh.
それはそれ、これはこれで一旦お願いします。
調子のいい。
まあまあとにかくよろしく。それじゃあ早速だけど高原の北に向かっちゃおっか。
Sure.
だがその前に一旦集落に寄らせてくれ。
We have to go through there anyway.
そうね、通信機でモンにも状況を説明したいし。
よし、とにかく出発しよう。で、君の方は彼に乗っていくのか？
そうだね。とりあえずせっかくだし君の後ろに乗せてもらおうかな。
え？
母ちゃん。消えた。
しかも今の消え方は。
ほらほら出発するんでしょ。それじゃあ武装集団を捕らえるためにレッツゴー。
Oh boy. Milliam joined the party. For reasons unknown, she's carrying an Arcus unit and is capable of forming combat links with the other party members. For unknown reasons. Alright. Well, with that, we're definitely going to end things off here. So next time, we'll head back to the settlement, see what's going on there, and then head to the north of the Highlands to find this evil group that's trying to start a big war here. So that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.